Do you see this hair? Hi, like... Hello guys, my name is Daphne York, and today I'm going to show you guys how I do my makeup. I have never done one of these before, so I do not know if this will even look right, or if it will be good or anything, or even if it will be informative, but that's okay, I'm still gonna do it. I already shaved my face, so I am not going to do that on camera. You know, learn what you can, do what you can. Makeup can be removed. And that's about it. So, you know, let's get into it. What I'm going to start off with is just some primer. I use Tatcha Silk Canvas. I think it works the best. It gets rid of my textured skin. But we're just gonna slop some of that on here real quick. I like to just focus it on kind of my beard area because that's where my texture really is, and this, like I said, gets rid of it quite nicely. And the next thing I'm going to do is glue down my eyebrows. So what I do for that is I use Peroxide. I take a little mascara spoolie, and I stick it in like so. I get a little bit on it, like this, so it's just, you know, chilling on there. And then all I'm gonna do is just run that through my eyebrow hair. Can you see it? Do you even see what I'm doing? See, just running it through. Okay, nice. So I'm just gonna let those kind of sit there and dry a little bit. So like I just keep combing them so they don't stick, and so it kind of spreads out through the eyebrow. Perfect. So what I'm gonna do now is just kind of take my finger and like press down and smooth it up. I'll start spreading it, and don't neglect the other one, because if you pay too much attention to this one, then this one could just harden up, and then you're kind of screwed, and nobody wants that. So, and then you want to make sure that you get it in the middle towards, you know, in this part. This part freaking pops, and that's just not good, because that's the part that always comes off for me. Another trick I like to do, that I just remembered, I like to take a makeup wipe and just wet my finger a little bit and then go over that. Just because if you do this with like a dry finger, it'll like pill up kind of and get tacky. So what I do next is I just take my makeup wipe. I just go around the edges of it here real quick, just to kind of get the chunkiness away. Okay, sweet. So the Peroxide's all done. So I take my glue stick. I do one layer over the Peroxide because it like smooths it out. Okay, so before the glue dries, what I like to do is take my little powder puff with my powder on it, and just kind of set it before the glue dries. So while the glue is still tacky, I like to put powder in it. And this is just going to, like, I don't even know what it does, to be honest. I think it like sets it like smoother, I guess. Like that's what I've kind of gotten out of it, I think. And you're gonna wanna really like take the powder and just kind of press the shit out of it. Like, because you want it like flat. So doing this is gonna flatten it further, you know, with a, just press. Oh yeah. See? That's awesome. Take a fluffy brush, just like that, and then just kind of dust away the excess. So now that my brows are all covered, I take my color corrector, LA Girl. Do you see it? Cool. And then I'm gonna brush that upon the brows. And what I've recently learned is that the water, like the watery stuff, like whatever, the concealer and foundation, it like takes away from the Peroxide, so it makes it weaker. So then it makes it like pop a little bit quicker. So then you're just gonna wanna like, you know, brush it and then tap it and blend it. Okay, and now that's so blended. That's amazing. And then what I'm gonna do at the same time is take the same concealer, the same red LA Girl concealer, and put that shit on my beard area. Boom, boom, boom. And then you're just gonna blend this out as well. So I'm just gonna take the brush I used to brush off this powder, and I'm just gonna take a bit of the powder, just kind of brush it over my my color correction. I don't like to pack it on with a powder puff because I don't want like too much powder on my face before I do my foundation. Just kind of brush it on. But then with your eyebrows, the color correction on your eyebrows, you're gonna want to take that powder puff and fucking pack it. So pack. Because this is another step that you want to like press it in to get your eyebrows flat. It's like common sense if you think about it. But I don't know who raised you, so I'm here to help. I'm just gonna brush away this excess here and everything else. Okay, so now what we have to do next is put our foundation on. I use Krylon TV Paint Stick. I'm using the shade 3W. Take my beauty blender and I take a little bit of like any setting spray and I just spray it. Because you don't want a damp one, especially with Krylon, what I've noticed. Because if you have like a wet beauty blender and you're using Krylon, the wet will like peel it off your skin. And that used to happen to me all the time and I was so confused. And then I realized, like, don't use a wet beauty blender. So I just use kind of like a super, like, very lightly damp one. And that works actually very well for me. So, and I like to just put like a lot of it on. Pussycat Dolls just released their new song. We actually love it. Like, imagine them, like, doing the Super Bowl at some point. Can you even believe it? Like, white people had such a problem with J-Lo and Shakira being scantily clad, but Pussycat Dolls come out pussy out. No remorse. You can't. So I'm just gonna do now is just take my beauty blender and just blend this out. But, like, do it kind of gently. Because, again, you don't want to, like, have it be peeling off of your skin. Like, that's just not a look. I feel like if your foundation doesn't look good, then nothing else will look good on your face, even if your eyeshadow is blended. Then your makeup's just kind of gonna be, like, questionable. You know, get down your neck, get, like, behind your neck. Just do everything you can. And then you're just gonna want to, when you go over your eyebrows, go with the freaking grain. I see so many people just not do that. Go up, press it down. It gets it more flat. It does, you know, it's like extra precaution. So just do that. And this part for me is never perfect. Like, my brows never actually totally get covered with the foundation. I don't know why, but like once it's all done, it looks kind of fine. So I don't really have any complaints about it. So what I do now is I highlight. What I do for that is I take my Krylon TV Paint Stick in 070 and I just apply it to my like under eye, middle, and then my nose. Just kind of do this. Put it in the middle. I like to go over my eyebrows too, just a little bit, because it, like, the white will kind of hide the ugly texture in the hairs and stuff, so I do that. I go down my nose. I don't like to bring it like too low here either, because then it like makes me look so like, I don't know, like I feel like I have like a fat upper lip area, like a fupa, but like for my face. So I just kind of keep it like this, to be honest, and then I take my other blender that I use for my highlight and contour, wet it a little bit like I said, and take my side that I use for my highlight, and then I just pounce it out. And I like to keep my under eye like very highlighted in white, just because I think it's like super kind of dramatic and bitchy. So yeah, like I'll put the product down there, blend it. I just like to put extra product down there because then it's just too much. And then see, oh yeah, like Hi. You don't want any unblended lines. You don't want to look like a beginner. And then just blend out the nose. And then next, I'm gonna take my contour. I like to cream contour a little bit just because it adds some warmth to my face. I use Krylon TV Paint Stick in shade 8W. It's kind of just like a warm, see, it's just like warm, but it's not like too much. I mean, it's cool, but it's not, it's like cool, but it's not too much, whatever, it's brown. When I put my cheek contour on, like, notice how I like brought my contour like at an angle. I like to keep that contour at that same angle and like kind of just, you know, like that. Like, do you see it? Because then it just makes your face just pull up and like blend it out how you want to, but you'll look bitchy, I promise. And then you just take it and kind of just run it under your chin. And then I like to just chop off my little, like my side a little bit, see? And then chop off my side a little bit. Okay, swaggy. I like to start on my cheek because I don't like that much product on my cheek. And that's just a personal preference. If you want a lot of product on your cheeks, start somewhere else, you know? It's like, duh. And I don't also like to like bring it super close to my mouth. Like, I think that's so kind of ugly, but I like to like bring it back up. And then when you're blending out your contour, since you already have your highlight on, you don't really want to like bring the contour too far into the highlighted section because then it like looks muddy. So like just around like this where they touch, kind of just like gently do it. Like it's, I don't even know, just like don't let them touch, I guess. And then you're just gonna take the last, and all you gotta do now is just blend out your jaw. Okay, awesome. So just see how it's just like so blended. Yeah, exactly. And what I'm gonna do now is just take my powder that I set my eyebrows with. I'm just gonna set my face with it. I use Coty Airspun in shade Naturally Neutral. So I'm just gonna set my under eyes first. Just set all your highlight sections, set your nose, set your forehead. And then again, when you set your eyebrows, press down on them because that is going to flatten them a little bit more so you can't see them. You know, set the rest of your face. Use a lot of powder, but don't use like too much because then you're gonna be nasty and cakey. And unless you know how to handle the cake, don't eat it. Okay, so neck's all set, everything's all set. So I'm just gonna let this sit for like a couple seconds. I like it to let it sit so it can suck up the moisture. I'm just gonna gently brush this off. I don't like to go too hard on my face just because I don't wanna like, you know, make the foundation streaky. And careful underneath your eyes too, because that's where like it'll start moving if you like brush it too hard. So what I'm gonna do now is my powder contour. I have this janky ass palette, this BH Cosmetics palette that I've been using since I've started drag. Or is, you know, it should be cool toned. So I use like some of the darkest one. And then I mix it with like this light cool toned one. And it works for me, so that's just what I use. I don't like it to be too warm because then you look warm. Yeah. I'm just gonna start powder contouring. I like to follow where I cream contoured. I also like to start gently because you can't get rid of it, but you can add more. And I go in little circles. So angle it up. You wanna like put like more product like lower, like towards your jaw, and then kind of like blend it up. You're just gonna do the same to the other side. And this side I can never do the same for some reason. So I just kind of just wing it. Then you're just gonna do your forehead. This one you can be lazier about because it's not that important. It's just kind of to make your forehead look smaller. Okay, and then you're gonna take the contour and then go on your jaw. So I don't like to bring the powder contour like too low because then it like makes you look like you have like a neck beard. I just like to kind of put it like right underneath the jawbone, and then like up behind your ear. See? So now what I'm gonna do is take my nose contour brush. I take the big fluffy side. I use the light contour color because I don't want my nose too dark. I've never really liked that on myself, so I don't do it. And I kind of like start at the top, angle it towards, kind of like slant it towards the middle of my nose. Okay, that's done. Then you're gonna take it and go underneath to like make your nose look shorter, I think. That's what they all say, but like I was saying, I don't even know if that's what it even looks like. I just do it to kind of complete the look. Ooh, now I'm going to bake my face. I use super white powder, but I mix it with my Airspun that I use to set my whole face, just because I think the white's a little too white, and then I like to like, you know, bring it down a little bit with the actual face powder. Just like take my powder puff, I kind of pinch it in half, see, like this, and I just like start on this eye, bring it down, straight down on my nose like that, and then I just bring it up. See, and it like pinches your nose. And then I don't like to bring the white too far down because then it like drags my face down, I feel like. So I like to kind of keep it higher like this. See, like high, and like a little bit over your mouth, and then like a little bit over your chin, but not too much because like, ew. And then I put just like a little bit underneath my contour just to clean it up a little bit. See, but those aren't even, but who cares? And then you take it and then put some in the middle of your forehead. Take it and then drag it down your nose. I'm gonna draw my eyebrows on. Okay, so for that I take NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer in a brown shade. This one is Deep Cool. Put a little bit on my hand, and then I take a little like angle brush, dip it in. Okay, so I'm gonna start drawing it. So I drew, let me see. I think that's gonna be the top line. I usually start with the bottom line, but I think I drew this too high, so I'm just gonna make this the top line. Okay, that's not that bad. Kind of snapped. So then you just fill it in with the concealer and make sure your brows are just super arched and bitchy. Holy shit. I take a white concealer. I use Morphe. And then I'm gonna take my like Flatty kind of brush. It's like, I don't know, shaped like a half circle or whatever. I'm gonna take that. And I'm just gonna go underneath the brow to carve it out and make it look like super highlight, you know. Okay, so like that's all cut up underneath it, and then you just take some more and then just, like I said, blend it down. You're gonna take like a little packy brush and you're just gonna set underneath that eye. So see, that's all set. Do you see that? Yeah. Done. It's over. I take like a small angle brush and I take like a brown eyeshadow, it's a brown eyeshadow. And I like just I put it in my brow just to like smooth it out. And then like for the inside, you're gonna take like the residue of the brush and just kind of just like keep fanning it in the middle, at the end. See, it's just kind of like a little bit blended. Like it's not too bad, but I'm gonna do the other one off camera because I think that's easier and that's what everybody else does. So I'm gonna be right back. I will have one other eyebrow on. It was harder than I thought it was gonna be. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna do for this one. Like I said, I'm just gonna do this part in one video and then I'm gonna do my eyes and the rest of everything in the second one. But I hope you guys learned stuff from this. I know I did. I learned that I'm actually not that bad at teaching makeup. So yeah, I will be back. Thank you for watching.